comprehensive revision or the SIR of electoral rules, while advising the Election Commission to consider Aadhar, voter ID and ration cards as valid supporting documents. Opposition parties moved Supreme Court demanding the scrapping of SIR, calling it discriminatory, exclusionary and politically timed to help the BJP. After hearing all the sides, the Supreme Court ruled that SIR is a constitutional mandate and must go on. While petitioners are hailing the top court's Aadhar advice as a victory, NDA sees it as a complete validation of the role revision exercise. For now, the BJP has seized the moment to hit out at what it calls Aadhar hypocrisy of the Congress party. They are pointing at the stand taken by the Congress earlier, when the government had proposed a linkage of Aadhar with voter IDs in 2021. Congress had opposed the move. BJP's Amit Malviya posted an earlier video of former LOP Adhir Chaudhary in Parliament. You can also hear Manish Tiwari talk about the issue, objecting to the linkage of Aadhar with voter IDs. Now let's take you through the facts around Aadhar. Aadhar is an identity document. It is not a citizenship certificate. UIDAI in the past clarified that Aadhar is given to residents and it does not verify citizens. It's not verified citizens. Supreme Court in 2018 also said that Aadhar doesn't establish citizenship. The Aadhar fact check. Let's tell you about how this counters the opposition's narrative, especially that of the Congress party. Here's the fact check on Aadhar and how it only helps verify the identity and not citizenship. So what is the purpose of Aadhar? Let's take a look at the details here on the big screen. What is the purpose of Aadhar? The purpose of Aadhar is ID, identification, not determining citizenship of a person. Fact check number 2, definition of resident not same as citizen. To say somebody is a resident and somebody is a citizen are two different things. Fact check number 3, note citizenship verification during the enrollment process. Let's move on. Fact check number 4, Aadhar requires only basic ID and address proof that a person is residing there, that the person is a resident. Fact check number 5, even non-citizens can furnish the basic ID proof that tells you about their identity and their address proof, the place where they are residing, not proving their citizenship. Fact check number 6, even the Supreme Court said Aadhar does not establish an individual's citizenship. Its only purpose is to highlight or determine somebody's identity. UADI, the agency said Aadhar is not document of citizenship. So this is the fact check as far as Aadhar is concerned. Aadhar is proof of ID and residence. It is not of citizenship. Although the Supreme Court asked the Election Commission to consider Aadhar, ration card and the voter IDs as part of documentation, and the opposition claimed validation or victory for that. BJP's Amit Malviya has posted a video of former LOP Adhir Chaudhary in Parliament to highlight how Congress earlier said that Aadhar is just for targeted delivery of benefits and that it can't be linked to voter IDs.
The Aadhar Act does not allow for the linking of the Aadhar number to the electoral roll. The Aadhar Act is very explicit. It is an act which is for the targeted delivery of financial and other subsidies, benefits and services. Voting is a legal right. चुनाव में वोट देना एक लीगल अधिकार है और इसलिए ये जो आधार एक्ट है इसके लेजिस्लेटिव कॉम्पिटेंस के बियॉन्ड है, इसलिए हम इस विधेयक की इंट्रोडक्शन का विरोध करते हैं और मंत्री जी से ये दरखास्त करते हैं कि इस बिल को वापस किया जाना चाहिए बिकॉज इट इज बियॉन्ड द लेजिस्लेटिव कॉम्पिटेंस ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट टू इंट्रोड्यूस.
Sir, this bill is outside the legislative competence of the House.
The Aadhar Act does not allow for the linking of the Aadhar number to the electoral roll. The Aadhar Act is very explicit. It is an act which is for the targeted delivery of financial and other subsidies, benefits and services. Voting is a legal right.
We have our legal editor Harish joining us on the broadcast. Harish, now the judgment or the observation is one, the interpretation is being done differently by the political parties. On one hand, of course, the BJP says, this is a massive vindication because the Supreme Court has not stayed the process. The Supreme Court has only asked the Election Commission to consider Aadhar voter ID and ration card as part of documentation. The opposition in the Congress, on the other hand, is interpreting it in a manner that makes it look like the opposition has emerged victorious, because the opposition was continuously asking, does that mean that Aadhar is useless now because it does not feature in the list of documents?
Yes, in fact, that's right, Swati. Now the opposition is using the Supreme Court's observation that the Election Commission of India should consider allowing Aadhar, voter ID, and also the ration card as three more documents through which the identity can be verified. But yes, as you rightly said, there is clear hypocrisy on two counts. Remember, the Congress had in the Parliament, as you rightly showed, objected to linking of the Aadhar to the voter ID to the Aadhar card, saying that it cannot be used as a proof of citizenship. And again, we should remember that in 2018, Puttaswamy judgment, the Congress and the entire ecosystem had approached the Supreme Court seeking quashing, scrapping of the Section 9 of the Aadhar Act, saying that though the Aadhar Section 9 says that Aadhar cannot be used as a proof of citizenship, and only says that it can only be an authentication of the identity of a person, the government was wrongly using Section 9 of the Aadhar Act to making it a proof of citizenship also. But yesterday in the Supreme Court, we saw that the opposition wants that Aadhar should also be among the list of documents which can be submitted as a proof of citizenship and also for enrollment in the electoral process. So the Supreme Court, at the same time, Supreme Court said that since the Principal Act, the Citizenship Act, allows Aadhar as one of the documents, the Election Commission of India should consider Aadhar also as one of the documents which can be shown by the people, citizens, to people to get themselves enrolled in the voters list.
Right.
But yesterday, Senior Advocate Rakesh Dwivedi very vehemently put forward the Election Commission of India's view that Section 9 of Aadhar, which had been upheld by a constitution bench of the Supreme Court in 2018, very, very clearly says that Aadhar cannot be used as a proof of citizenship and only to authenticate one's identity.
All right, Manish, thank you for getting us all the details. So while the opposition tries to reposition itself as a defender of voters, it's caught in a web of its own making. The facts of law, court, and constitution remain clear. The EC says that as far as the Aadhar card or the ration card is concerned, that the Supreme Court has asked us to consider as part of the document. The opposition is claiming victory. The BJP says that the Supreme Court has not stayed the process of SIR. So while that continues, the Supreme Court has observed that the Election Commission can consider Aadhar card, voter IDs and ration card as part of the documents that they are seeking from people.